Welcome to SEO the series, part 3, Why Voice Search Matters. I'm here with Mr. Yusuf Chowdhury one more time, a digital marketing strategist. I'm Imran and Yusuf, how you doing? You're still on mute, my man.
What's going on, my man? How are you?
I'm doing good. Let's get this flyer off the screen. How you doing, brother?
Excellent. Just give me a minute here so I can share this in two more places. Then we can chill. So, how's everything on your side of the world?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Everything's good over here. How about yours?
Always good, even though everyone's acting like crazy.
How hot is it in Texas?
Well, today, let's say I went to Medina Lake, had a good time, and it was like close to 105, around 100, 105. So it wasn't too bad.
Nice time to go to a lake.
Yes. And this week we have some other plans to chill and have fun.
So, while Yusuf is getting ready, guys, today we're going to be discussing voice search in SEO, and seems to be a very important topic. Obviously, we know, and this is a joke, so we got to pre-warn the people, but people are getting a little bit more lazy as time goes on. So, hands-free was good, but now if we can be completely hands-free and just search by using our voice, I think people prefer doing that in terms of ordering products, ordering food, asking Siri a whole bunch of ridiculous questions, and asking Alexa to do your homework for you and to mark your calendar and whatnot. So it seems like the natural progression in terms of business optimization, web optimization, is definitely including voice search capabilities into your service, into your website, and also connecting that, obviously keeping to the same SEO principles that you talk about time and time again. And interesting statistic, and I'll hand it over to you, is I was seeing that I saw that like just this year alone, there's billions of dollars worth of sales that happen just through voice search, and that is going to like increase dramatically. And for the organizations who use voice search for their digital products and whatnot, they see like a revenue increase of about 30%. So I've gotten everything I needed to get out, so you can take over.
Absolutely, man. I mean, this is something like, I'm just going to share the screen. You can probably have some presentation to share. Let me see if y'all can see this.
Yep.
Where did the view go? Okay. Y'all can see this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So back in 2012, actually, if you notice on the browser, we have this like a mic. I'm like, what is that? Why there is a mic image by the search? Right? So when it came out in 2012, the first time I tested it, I just clicked on it. Oh, it can actually take my voice from my laptop or from the mobile device if you have the Chrome browser. And while I was doing a workshop back then, I was testing it and showing the small businesses, hey, let's go ahead and use this new feature. Let me talk to this thing. So I basically said, best dentist near me or dentistry, whatever, right? And luckily, the results showed up with the local business. And of course, there's a voice that talks about, it gives you the option, the first one and whatnot. And it's kind of funny. Then I changed my accent to, dentist near me, right? And for some reason, the voice couldn't recognize. Like, yeah, it's like Google is racist, right? But the technology has improved, right? So right now, like you mentioned, the sales and whatnot, you have like Google Home and you have like Alexa. I believe like more than like I would say like 2 or 3 years ago. I think 2 years ago, I think the statistic was like more than 13 to 15% of the American household of the 350 million people in this country, right? Like 13% or 15% of them. I think right now it's probably went to like 20 or 25, right? Have Google Home or Alexa. That's we talk about millions and millions of people that are using it, and most of them use it for like like you said, buying product or business near me or like store or restaurants or dental or lawyer and whatnot. So now, and because of the phone, remember when the voice came through the phone, or everyone just speaking to the phone, like hey Siri, hey this and whatnot. So this is the technologies that we're going to move forward to. So the thing started not this year; it started in 2012. So by next year, according to Google, 50% of the search will not be typing. It will be like just talking, whether it's a Google Home or Alexa or mobile devices and whatnot. Okay. And ever since that technology came about, we already know Siri if you have an iPhone, right? If you have Android, you can actually also use Google Assistant, which is an app similar to Siri. You can use it on iPhone, you can use it on Android as well. Then, of course, you have the Google Home, you have Alexa, then you have Bixby, which is for Samsung devices. Cortana is for Microsoft phones. I don't know if anybody uses Microsoft phone these days. Hello, I'm Alice. That's Russian. Russian, okay? And of course, the Alexa and Echo are basically the same. So you have mobile based, but you have an actual device as well. And like I said, the technology is moving fast. So you as a business, how can you be kind of foundable, all right, or searchable if your customers are looking for you, for your businesses from these voice search systems? Because the algorithm is different. It's not like the web algorithm. You know what I mean? So the first question I had to ask, like, since the subject is why the voice search matter, correct? So the reason it matters is because it's fast. I mean, instead of you like typing and just talk to it, and since the technologies have improved, now it can understand you, even if you just wake up from your sleep and you're grumpy. And it's convenient. And since the technology has advanced a little bit, I mean, it's kind of reliable. You know, not like back in 2012. You know what I mean? So those in the 3 point. Now, if you look at the statistic, this was actually taken from harvardvisibility.com. If you want to go back to that website and check it out. And this is not for this year. This is like, several years ago. As you can see, when do people use their mobile device? Now we're talking about the mobile. We're not talking about Alexa Home or Google Home. We're talking about the mobile device and the voice search. So when they drive, 50% use the voice, right? They talk, they connect the mobile device, or they talk to Siri to the mobile device on the car, right? In fact, all the new cars right now has the voice feature that you can connect it, either talk to the car or connect it to the device, right? 21% while they're doing some other stuff like activities, walking outside, working out. Almost 8% when they watch TV, instead of typing to tweeting, you're probably just talking, right? Asking questions, ordering pizza, correct? When working, and I do this sometime when I'm like too busy and going through files, I'll just talk to Siri to give me some information, or talk to Google Assistant to give me some information, and it pops up, right? When cooking, people do that by looking at some of the recipes. Exercising, as you can see the number, look at the showering part. Almost 2% showering or using. Makes sense. You don't want to use the phone while you're taking a shower, right? You can just talk to the device, correct? Especially if you have the Alexa or Google Home in the bathroom, I guess anybody can listen to you. So, and also in the bed. So if you look at the whole structure right now, like almost 87 of the users think mobile voice search is accurate. Okay, so this is kind of a quick number to give an idea what's happening, and this is going to increase. This behavior is going to increase because even in restaurant, when I sit and I tell my friend, okay guys, we're not going to use the phone, but when we look at other people, we see them that they actually now just talk instead of typing, because they don't want to distract somebody or they want to be rude. They just talk to the phone real quick as if they're calling. All right. So that is the importance behind it. And now, how can we, as a business, how can I have my information be searchable through voice on these devices? So there is no a concrete blueprint that tells exactly how it is. But if you study some article from the Google search, the Search Engine Journal and Search Engine Land, these are some of the suggestions that gave. And we tried some of them, and it did work for some of our clients where customer actually did ask for a search, and their information showed up locally here in San Antonio within the Google Home. Okay. So what you need to understand when it comes to your website, if you want the search engine somehow pick up through the voice, so you have to make sure that first of all your website is mobile friendly. That means it's built on a responsive based mobile device. It's very fast on the mobile device, but the website itself is mobile friendly. Okay. Number two, this is the option number two. It's kind of debatable because AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Page. Sometimes when you set up the AMP on the website, it can cause some conflict and issue with your Google Ads. Sometimes it can cause some issue with your web-based organic search. So that's a debatable matter. We had some clients that we set up the AMP and they have no issues. Some of them, when they set it up, we had some problem for the search engine and a couple of ads for to turn it off. So that one you have to test and see if it's going to help you or not. The third point is you have to use like a long tail question based keyword. Like for example, what is the best such and such? Where can I find? So if you write an article or a blog post, or even under the services, what is the best dentist near me, or what is the best dentist in Chicago, for example, right? So you have to look for those type of keyword when you optimize it, when you do the on-page SEO. Remember, we talked about the on-page SEO, and we're gonna probably go into detail later on in the next couple of series, right? Number four, if you have a frequently asked question page, that can also help, especially if you are going to add more question and short answers. So that particular static page can probably have 2,000, 3,000 content. Okay, that also help because the majority of the excuse me, the search that happens through Google Home or Alexa or the voice on the mobile device, mostly a question based. You see what I'm saying? You have to make sure that the speed of the website is really, really good. You also have to make sure that everything on the backend is crawlable. So you need to use the Google Search Console to make sure that when you do a sitemap submission or pitch as Google, you got to make sure that there are no crawlable errors. If you do have some crawlable errors, then you have to talk to the developer to go back and fix it. Okay. When it comes to like the 50 to 40 to 50 words in the feature snippet, this is something you don't have control over. That's something Google picks it up. But what you have a control is the meta tag description. So you got to make sure that within the meta tag, even though the meta tag can go up to like 160, that should be enough. But when it comes to number 7, that's something you don't have a control over. I know Yoast.com, they did have an article actually that can, if you're interested, you can check that article that talks about how can you implement certain technique to get that featured snippet. Okay. Number 8, implement local SEO. So if you have a Google My Business page, it's one, but it's better to have if you're a local businesses, it's better to have it on Yelp and several other locations. The online listing location, like the yellow pages on the internet, you can go to moz.com/local, and from there find out if you are available in the top 10 local listing site. There are companies like I believe Yaxt that has some sort of deal with Alexa. So if you're gonna pay them monthly in your local business, there is a chance your information or your business gonna show up within Alexa devices because they made a contract with a company called Yax. Instead of Next, it's like a Y. Okay, it's basically local listing service. Then you have to use a schema markup. This is something very technical. You need to have the developer take care of that for you on your website. And don't forget to, beside having the Google Analytics configured on your website, you also have to make sure that the Search Console is properly configured to your website. Okay.
So 2 points is you were mentioning local businesses, and it says that over 55% of voice searches are for local businesses, right? So this is even more emphasis on why businesses that are serving people in their geographic area should invest in voice search optimization. My question to you, Yusuf, is since we did a series on WordPress, are there any WordPress plugins that will help with just voice searches?
And not that I know, to be honest, because the thing with the voice search, the technology, Google did not give us a lot of ways on how to do that. This is all I have so far.
Okay.
10 tips. And if you implement them properly, again, there's no guarantee, but there's a chance that your business is going to be foundable on those devices, especially if you're using the local listing and the Q&A page, right? So if you can implement all these, hopefully there's a chance that you should be able to eventually going to be found on those devices. Okay. So these are some of the tips. If y'all need the copy, you can take a snapshot, or you can ask Imran to send you a copy of this presentation. He'll be more than happy to do that for you guys. So when you talk about it must be mobile friendly, I mean, you can go to mobile friendly test. You can just go to Google and type mobile friendly test, and this link, actually it's from Google. You drop your website right there, and it will tell you if it's a mobile friendly or not. If it's not, it will tell you exactly what you need to do to fix it. That mostly goes to your web developer. Okay. Then don't forget, you need to have the Google Search Console configured properly, just like how you configure the Google Analytics. So that is the link, google.com/webmasters. And once you log in and set up your account, so this is the old, Search Console. The new one looks a little bit different. But in the new one, look for an option that says accelerated mobile pages, which is stand for AMP, and see if you can configure that from the Search Console. But again, as I mentioned in the beginning, if it causes any issues, if you're running Google Ads, if you're doing SEO, organic SEO on a monthly basis, if you notice some problem, then just go ahead, completely, quickly turn it off. Okay. If you want to learn more about the MP configuration, there's a link right here. As you can see, that was almost like 2 years ago. So they probably updated it. You might have new information. If you go to, this is actually from Google search. This is not Google. This is a website called the searchengineland.com. And there's an article about this. There's a link right here, bit.ly/AMP2018 user. If you go there, it will take you directly to that particular page. And I'm sure they probably did some sort of update that have a new information. If you want to learn how to set up or how to test the EMP for a self-hosted WordPress, okay? Use keywords, as I mentioned, long tail, question-based keywords. All of the 88% near me searches are done on mobile. You see that? You said 50%, but it's actually, it's almost 80%, Imran, for the local search. Okay? That's what is it for. When we look for types of keyword, this is a quick example of what is a short tail keyword, what is a long tail keyword. When we talk about the long tail, we talk basically 3 to 4 words, like, affordable women's shoes online, not just women's shoes. And the conversational keyword, this is the what are the best affordable women's shoe online, that can also help. So that's why I highlighted the blue option. Those are the ones that you're going to look for. But when you do a keyword research, you start with the 1 word or 2, which is the general keyword. Then after that, you look for the relevant keyword and the long tail. Okay. These are some of the tools for keyword research tool. I mean, Market Samurai, you have Google AdWords, it's free. Everyone else, you have to pay for it on a monthly basis, except for the Uber Suggest. Neil Patel acquired that. That's also, they have a free version and a paid version. But if you do want to invest, I highly recommend Market Samurai, that is connected to the Google's database. You only pay like $100 for the lifetime, and that's it. You don't have to pay monthly, but it's a good application to have for finding the best keyword for your pages and whatnot. And here are some of the links. Again, if you need a copy, we can send it to you. And of course, one of my favorite, Answer the Public, right? AnswerThePublic.com can be a great tool, especially if you are going to utilize the frequently asked question page, right? That way you know what kind of question your audience are asking, and now you can have a full page with the question and answer of your own about your product and services. Okay, and this is the old picture, but the new one is somebody else. But just go to AnswerThePublic.com and find out what kind of questions your target audience are asking for your product and services. I'm basically repeating the tips. Create frequently asked question page. Check the speed of your website. To do that, you can use Google page speed test, but don't also rely on that because it's a different system. I usually use Google Speed and also GT Metrics. GT Metrics actually gives me better data, better information than the Google Speed test. So you use both of them to see where you're at. On the GT Metrics, at least you need to have like A and A score, or A and B, or B and A, but not less than that. When it comes to Google search, the Google Speed test, my recommendation is on the mobile device and on the desktop, you should be at least above 85%. If it's 90, amazing, but at least be above 85% and not less than that. Everything has to be crawlable. Of course, you can use the Search Console to do that. The WooRank is not a free service. The first time you use it, it's free. Basically, this is for on-page audit for your website, so you can see exactly what's missing from the on-page SEO. You can also use Link-Assistant. It's an application. They have on-page analysis, rank analysis. It comes with like 3 to 4 software that you can download and utilize it to do a lot of analysis for your website. It's free, and they also have a paid version. Okay. When I talked about the snippet, use 4 to 50 words in feature snippet. Right now, as I mentioned, this is something that Google does it by themselves. But here we go. Yoast basically have a workaround on how to make this sort of thing, for Google to grab it as a snippet, because Google will decide that, but at least you would know how to optimize your meta description length. So there's an article from Yoast. Again, click on that article. read more and see if you can implement that. Implement local SEO. Go to my business page. This is the one, moz.com/local. Once you go there, click on the first option right here. Then after that, enter your business name and the address. And Moz will tell you out of the 10 top local listing, which one you have and which one you don't, and try to just basically claim all of them. Don't forget to use the schema markup. It's basically a bunch of script. It's a code you put on the back end. And for WordPress, I know there's a plugin for that, but you still have to make some configuration. So have a developer to take care of that for you. And this is the plugin for schema. It's called All-in-One Schema Rich Snippet. Activating the plugin is not going to help. You still have to have somebody to go back and tweak it a little bit. Okay. Google Search Console. Again, this is an old one. The new one is a little bit different. And that's about it.
We got a good question from our friend Charles. Right. How does the voice search fit into my overall SEO strategy? Or should I optimize for voice search separately from my traditional SEO for my website? And before you answer, shout out to Charles, Chris, Osong for joining and asking questions.
Yes, Osong, thank you for tuning in. And Chris, my man, he's an awesome videographer and also live streaming. He provides live streaming for companies. That's Chris. And also he does other stuff like photography and videography. And Osong, thank you for tuning in. And Charles, yeah, basically I wouldn't do what I would, because it's on the website. So I would utilize it both. You are going to implement the on-page SEO. You are going to do the off-page SEO. And the voice search, it's actually within your website, because that's how the voice search device is going to pick it up. Make sense? But if you, the only option that is outside the website, it's a local listing, which is the Google My Business page and the Yelp and the Yellow Pages. That's the only outside option that you need to make sure you claim it. And of course, the pages like the frequently asked question page and all the top 10 list of tips that I shared with you guys, try to implement that as much as you can. And you can also always check the search engine journal.com and the search engine land. Those are the ones that are going to have updated information. You can also join the Google Webmaster Forum or the Google Search Console Forum, because we'll have new updated information about the voice search. This is technology. Amazingly, when this thing came out, I used to make a joke saying that, well, it came in 2012, so that means there is a possibility that probably Google is collecting all these voice of people that, inputting, right? And guess what? Actually, they do. There was an article that I read a couple of years ago. They were talking about they are going to release a, what do you call it? We have the keyword research tool that show us how many keywords per month. They're going to have a similar tool for the voice search. Amazing. So that means more data for us to market, understand what the consumer are talking, because when they use it, when I ask for something, I'm inputting my voice, and that software translates it into text and goes out and whatnot and gives you the result. So I'm sure they're grabbing that information. So I look forward to that technology for the voice search research to come out anytime next or whatever in the years.
Cool. So before we conclude, give everybody a little snippet into what's to come. So today we covered voice search. Next week we're going to be talking about what are the 4 essential SEO principles, followed by what are the Google factors. So as we mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, 15-part series. This is our 3rd series that we've started. Everything builds on the previous. So we covered web design, creating effective website. We covered SEO to some extent before. We covered social media in relations to how social media helps with your business. So next week and the following weeks, for many, many weeks to come, we're going to be live at 4 p.m. And just to summarize, Yusuf, so everybody's clear on it. Not only is SEO important generally, but when it comes to voice search, because now you said by 2020, which we're currently in, half of all searches online will be done via voice. I just saw a stat, over 1 billion voice searches are conducted or done every month. Mm-hmm. And businesses who utilize voice searches see a revenue increase of 30%. So it seems like it's a good investment for business owners to learn how to properly build and optimize their website, whether they learn it or whether they outsource that work to somebody else. But they should start optimizing their products or services and their website for voice search.
You're absolutely correct. And plus, also notice how the new appliances, like, refrigerator, has a voice option,
Mm,
right? Cars has a voice option. In fact, you can program your Google Home or Alexa to start your car before you leave home.
mm,
So, I mean, I know it's kind of scary, but to me, it's very exciting. Okay. So, and the technology probably is already out there, but it hasn't released yet. And as you know, technology is like right now is like every day there's a new thing coming up. It's much faster than, like, 30 years ago,
mm.
right? So just get ready for a change, get ready for this sort of thing. But at the same time, if you're a smart business, you're not gonna wait. You're gonna start utilizing right now. Just like how Charles asked that question, and the answer was you just do both because it's part of the site for now. But there could be some other new update and tips that can help you. How can we be on these devices? Like for Alexa, they partnered with a company called Yuxt. So if you have the listing with them, that means your information going to be mentioned using those devices. So that's something pretty cool and new. So what Google Home is going to do, I'm not sure, but for now, Google Business Page and other tools, and again, go back and check the 10 tips that we shared here in this session. And again, if you need a copy, just let Imran know on his Facebook page, and he will send you a PowerPoint or a PDF copy about the session today if you want to kind of go through it again.
So thank you everybody for joining. We'll be back next week at 4 p.m. Yusuf, thank you for that amazing, excellent information.
Anytime, brother.
Has the show today been Yusufied?
Always Yusufied, my man.
We got the annual membership, huh?
There you go.
So we'll see you next week, man.
All right, take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.